Hi, everybody, and good evening, and welcome to Westchester Talk Radio. I'm Bob Marone, along with Matt Zako. We are produced this evening by Shaw Creative and made possible by Hightower Westchester, Robeson, Jaguar Land Rover of New Rochelle, and the Michael Labriola Landscape Design Firm. And we are, as we said, here live at the Glen Island Resort, or it used to be known as a resort, now they call it the Harbor Club. But this is the Best of Westchester, and one of the firms that we consider the Best of Westchester, full disclosure, they're a sponsor also of this broadcast, but we think highly of them. And we're lucky enough to have one of the managing directors and the partner, one of the partners here at Hightower Westchester financial services firm, Peter Lang. Hello again.
Thanks, Bob. Great to see you as always.
It's always good to see you, and this is a different venue. Usually we're doing a show over heavy topics of investing in the market, which I'm going to ask about in a little while.
Usually it's a little quieter when we tape and there's not, 5,000 people milling around, but yeah.
Or as many people that look as nice as these people do.
Absolutely.
If you get my drift. But
I do.
Be that as it may, it's a very, very busy place. Actually, I want you to tell people what Hightower does. Give them the overview of Hightower Westchester. They're right here in Westchester, over on Westchester Avenue, as a matter of fact.
Mamaroneck Avenue.
Mamaroneck, I always get the two in
You were close. So we are a holistic wealth management firm, and since we are a registered investment advisor, we are a registered investment advisor, as I said, and therefore we are a fiduciary for our clients. So meaning we have to place our clients' interests ahead of our own and ahead of our firm. And we work with our clients on creating financial plans, and then building portfolios that will help meet those plans, whatever they are: retirement, building wealth, philanthropy, whatever the client needs. We try to be their point person when it comes to their financial future.
And having spent time with your firm, your colleagues, and yourself, it isn't just folks stocks and bonds or a retirement plan. It's sort of cradle to grave. What do you need? If I understand it right. Of course, you have the basic investments, grow your wealth, but we get into insurance issues. We get into, when we talk about it, I've heard you talk about estate planning and so forth. Give folks the range.
So that's a great question, Bob. So because we start with a base of financial planning, that involves, as you said, cradle to grave. So a typical client might walk in their 30s, 40s, 50s with kids, young kids, older kids. We'll help them plan for college. We'll help them at the same time plan for their retirement. We'll help them plan for their estate as well, working with their estate attorney and their accountant to make sure we optimize their estate plan for their future and can help pass down their wealth that they've worked so hard their life for, to pass down to their children and grandchildren and to leave a legacy.
I've also observed some of the analytics that you do for prospective clients based on what they want. How do you go about doing that? Let's say I just come to you tomorrow and I've got $2 million in assets. Way too much stock, way too much cash, and I'm worried about what about my future? I'm 50 years old, which I was. What kind of analytics do you do?
So again, a lot of it is getting to know the client, right? So getting to know what your goals, your objectives are, what your family is like. And therefore, then we take the $2 million and we try to optimize it based upon the plan. So as I always say to clients, we might have two clients that come in that are both 50 years old, married, have a couple of kids, and they may seem the same on a piece of paper, but they're very different people once we get to know them a little bit. So we take a lot of time really getting to know our clients, what their risk, how much risk they're willing to take, how much risk they can absorb, and what their ultimate goals and objectives are with their money. So we do take apart a client. If a client comes to us with an existing portfolio, we'll kind of take it apart, like look under the hood, figure out what they have, and then figure out how it can be optimized, how it can be handled better. We spend a lot of time trying to manage our clients' risk and the volatility of the portfolio. And this year certainly has been no exception when we talk about volatility in the portfolio. We've tried to do our best for clients to minimize the volatility by using alternative investments and weighting the stocks, bonds, alternatives, and cash in a portfolio.
And I would like you to stress, and again, I've observed you do this, it's not just here it is, this is your plan, we'll see you next week. This is something you constantly revise, I understand. You revise it, you add or take or invest in different things depending on the market.
Yeah, so, once we build the financial plan for a client, it's something that we do review probably every 12 to 24 months with a client, depending on what happens. Now, if they have a big change 6 months later, then we go back and we'll review it 6 months later. And then we're, mindful of the plan. We're then building a portfolio based upon what we think is coming in the marketplace and try to be as proactive as we can. But we're not trading the portfolios every day, every week. We are still building portfolios based upon what we think is coming over the next 6 to 18 months. Not the next 6 to 18 days or hours, but months and then years ultimately.
We're talking with Peter Lang, one of the investment managers and certainly one of the managing partners of Hightower Westchester, right here in Mamaroneck Avenue I did it again. No, I did it right that time.
In Harrison, New York.
I've constantly transposed, I don't know why, Mamaroneck Avenue and Westchester Avenue, but they're right here in Mamaroneck Avenue in Purchase. 60 days ago, thereabouts, and the market's been somewhat volatile since. The market took a relatively big dip. It's not like 30 years ago when it went down 500 points and people were like, oh my God, but it was percentage-wise a significant hit. Were you inundated with calls?
No, we really weren't inundated with calls. We always get a few calls, because we spend so much time getting to know our clients and helping them understand their goals and objectives. When they do call a little worried, and we do get calls, we remind them of, okay, well, what's the purpose of the money? Why are you investing? Is it because you need money in 6 months? Then the investments are going to look very different and have a very low level of risk. But their portfolios they need in 16 years, we can deal with this volatility because we know over the last 30, 40, 50, 60 years of the stock market, we get these corrective cycles, and they are a correction, and they're never pleasant. It's never fun when the market goes down 20%. I've lived through it. I've been doing it for 30 years. I've lived through 10 or 12 times where this has happened. Each time, it's not fun.
No, it's not. However, and this is not a general statement, folks, nor am I advising you to do this. You talk to your professional. In fact, that's what I always tell people when the market goes south. But there are opportunities when the market goes south based on the underlying functioning of the business or the value of the asset, no?
Absolutely. And so, again, because we are longer-term investors making some tactical decisions, we will make some decisions to change portfolios around based upon opportunities that we're presented with. Right now, I think it's, if we look back in 12 to 18 months from now, I think it's probably a pretty good buying opportunity right now.
That's what I would think.
The economy looks ugly. Everything looks ugly right now. Inflation is high. The economy isn't good. The Fed is raising rates rapidly to catch up from not raising it soon enough, which is causing a lot of distress in the economy and in the markets. But I think these things will start to settle out over the next 3 to 5 months, is my guess. And it will look a lot better in a year from now.
Time is your friend. And obviously,
Absolutely.
You just answered the next question before I could ask it. What do you see happening over the next few months? Well, Peter, any other advice you'd give people before you tell us your bona fides? Where do we get a hold of you, your phone number, your proper address that I won't mess up?
Sure. So last thoughts are, just stick to a plan. Create a plan and stick to your plan. And, we can be reached. We're at 440 Mamaroneck Avenue in Harrison, New York. You can look us up on the web at hightowerwestchester.com. You'll find us there very easily. The office phone number is 914-825-8630.
Give it a second time. They just grabbed the pen and dropped it.
914-825-8630.
And this is an easy interview for me, folks, because I've never hesitated to recommend friends, and I could say that openly, or colleagues. And if you get a chance and you're really interested, give them a call. But if you can really swing it, stop by their offices. You will be impressed in the way you're treated. And I've seen that personally. Peter Lang, it is always a pleasure.
Bob, thanks so much. Love talking with you.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy.
I'm Bob Marone along with Matt Zako. We'll be back after these words.